What I think the plight of African American theaters in the United States, I think the plight is and has always been the inequities in funding, the inequities in space, and um, I think we are producing on the sweat of actors.
And last summer, you did an incredible series of readings. What prompted that idea and that concept?
Well, I was at the performance on Broadway, uh, and I just come out of Denzel Washington's dressing room, and we had talked. It was like an incredible performance, and I ran to one of the producers who was actually looking for something else like that, you know. I said, God, if we could only find some black playwrights, and I began to name about 15 or 20. This guy hadn't heard of any of them. So I felt, I said, wow, man, maybe if I just show him 25 or 30 of them and uh, present them in readings, get some of the best actors in New York to do those readings, rehearse them 3 or 4 days, go out and raise, you know, 25 or $30,000, and just show him, and invite the League of Broadway Producers to those plays. Then they'll know that these plays exist. And these are award-winning. These were award-winning plays. For some reason or another, they were on their way to Broadway, but something aborted them, and they did not go to Broadway. And to my amazement, only one member of the League of Broadway Producers showed up to the readings. But college students, young theater students, not necessarily in the theater department, and we were packed. It was like they had not been taught these plays in school. So it was like amazing that we did it for one reason, and another reason, which was very vital and important to the American theater, happened. And that was why I did those 25 plays.
Okay.
Well, Alice Childress came out of the American Negro Theater. She was an actress. She did her early work in a play called Anna Lucasta, and she became so disappointed that they had to do white plays with black artists that she began to write. As you know, she did novels, A Hero Ain't Nothing But a Sandwich, then Wedding Band, which was just a great, great play, Wine in the Wilderness, and Trouble in Mind. Trouble in Mind was one of the first off-Broadway Obie Award-winning plays. And by it being one of the first off-Broadway Obie Award-winning plays, it brought in a lot of attention to playwright Alice Childress. The other thing I'm very interested in is our earlier conversations when you talked about the people you had gotten involved. And, you know, Timothy Douglas, who's a major director who I've been trying to work with for years and years. I just love his work. And you mentioned this play was done as a reading with another fine, fine director, Charles Randolph Wright. These are artists who are craftsmen. These are artists who, for whatever reason, find it, I don't want to say they don't find it difficult. I just never have the kind of projects they're interested in when they are available, you know.
Please just sort of explain the need for black theater organizations in our culture.
Well, you know, it's uh, if you look at white institutions in America, we're talking about nonprofit white institutions, they're not going to do but one black play every 3 or 4 years. Black theater institutions, they're going to do 3 or 4 plays every year. So there's not going to be any kind of heavy inclusion of black artists in these white institutions. I mean, they're just not going to do it because there's no place for them, you know.
What would be the one thing you would want them to carry away from an event like this?
They'll really go out and study and read the works of Alice Childress and read the works of the American Negro Theater. to read the works of other black women writers and see their contributions to American theater. God, we've been around. We've done 250, maybe 275 plays, and there are people who came through New Federal Theater that are just amazing, just brilliant, but they never got the shot. There are people who came through and did 5 or 6 plays and got the shot.
Yeah. Now, how important is it for people to invest in not only our present but also in our future as far as the theater is concerned?
Well, it's very important, but do they do it?
Does it upset you when people say that black people just don't support black theater?
No, it doesn't. Because then you got to say, okay, what kind of black theater are you doing? If you're not doing something they love, that they're interested in, that's non-stereotypical, that they relate to and relate to very one-on-one, then why should they support it, Okay. But I don't get upset. What I love, though, is to stand in the back of the theater and I've chosen something they love, and they stand up cheering and crying and hugging each other because it has touched something, Now, what I love is other black people are sitting there, they may not like it, but the actors are giving a performance that you've never seen anything like this. And God, this actor's going to win every award imaginable, and all the award committees there. What I love is a director breaking through, like Gilbert Moses breaking through, Paul Carter Harrison doing The Trial of One Short-Sighted Black Woman, or Passion doing, these great, pieces. So those are things I love when it doesn't matter that the audience don't show up, but something else works.
After the readings on June 20th, how do you, what change do you hope to see in not only in our country, in theater organizations, and even in yourself after June 20th?
After Trouble in Mind?
After Trouble in Mind on June 20th.
Okay, but I said I did Trouble in Mind 12, 15 years ago. And I love it. I love Alice Childress's work. I'm hoping everybody else around the country will love it, The bottom line is there are no grants for this kind of thing, what you're doing. They have, so you got to find contributors, donors, and sponsors, people who, a corporation who will underwrite it. A foundation or federal, city, and state grants not going to give you anything. But they are the ones that benefit most from it.
You had the funds that you needed to run New Federal the way you wanted to. What would you be able to accomplish?
I would be able to pay the actors much more money. I would be able to pay people to fly in from Los Angeles to play parts in the play. I would be able to house them. I would be able to really promote the plays and rent the theaters in accessible locations.
One voice, one play, one day. June 20th, Project One Voice. Tomorrow's starting now. For more information on how you can help Project One Voice or any of the theaters in our network, check us out at www.project1voice.org or on Facebook at Project One Voice or on Twitter at P1Voice.